Every year around this time, we normally have dust storms developing over the Saharan Desert. When this happens, throw up lots of dust in the air. The smaller, lighter particles get caught up at a much higher altitude, and they move across in the prevailing winds into the Caribbean region, sometimes even into Western Europe, and as far as the North American continent. They normally travel in air masses between 5 and 15,000 feet above sea level. Strong winds will blow them across, and this happens on a regular basis during the hurricane season. Normally it's dry air, so we get drier conditions associated with it as opposed to rain bearing.
It's important to be aware that these phenomena, we really have no control over them. Like that of the sargassum weed, all we can do is to build our own resilience to be able to deal with the impact of it. The dust that comes across the Atlantic Ocean are considered respirable, meaning that you can't see it with your naked eyes in some cases, but they can actually enter your lungs and into alveoli and cause inflammation at the lung sites, and that leads to the asthma. So the fact is, if parents and healthcare providers know that these things can happen, we should be keenly aware of the weather conditions and the times of the year that these dusts are coming over, so that you can take precautionary measures.
Studies have shown that because, as I keep saying, that it is dry air, it tends to work to suppress hurricane formation or hurricane strengthening. The air is dry. Other studies have also shown that because it is dust, it could enhance rain production because it will produce what they call the condensation nuclei. You need nuclei for moisture for condensation to take place on it and fall as rain. So those are the two main findings of studies into the Sahara dust. In a few years ago, we had Tropical Storm Maria, which was engulfed all around it. It basically was embedded in a body of Saharan dust, and the theory is that helped to weaken it. Of course, there would have been other factors, right? But studies are ongoing in that area. But right now, it's tending to show that it tends to suppress strengthening hurricane growth. It doesn't mean that it eliminates it.
From a public health standpoint, public health professionals will now understand that they need to be able to be up on their treatment protocols and guidelines, because we expect more asthmatics and more respiratory conditions to come in. Parents and children who are at risk of having asthma, and also skin conditions, interestingly. The dust can also lead to skin conditions. Then at those times you need to pay more attention to your child's nutrition, first of all, so that the child eats the types of food that encourages a good immune response, the bright colored foods I mean. Ensuring that the child remains warm and dry, not as wet as that could trigger an asthma attack. And for the skin conditions, wearing longer clothing to protect the skin from the environmental conditions.
What we can say right now, looking at this next wave of dust that is coming, by about the middle of the week, we could be seeing another increase, but it's difficult to say that we will have week after, we'll have in 3 weeks' time, we'll have next month, right?